You are now tuned into Shotgun Sports USA. Powered by Winchester. Recorded in the U.S. and streaming all over the world. We talk to shotgun shooters from all disciplines, championship-winning coaches, gun clubs, world-class target setters, vendors, and industry-leading companies that fuel the sport. If you are into clay target sports, you are at the right place for insider information from some of the best in the world every single week. Remember to subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and connect with us on social media. You can also catch our episodes on shotgunsportsusa.com.
Winchester AA target loads have long been the standard of performance in shotgun sports. Available in over 50 different load specs, the AA line is known for its 6% antimony shot, reloadable hull, clean burning propellant, and of course, the famous AA wad. Winchester AA, it's the choice of champions.
Castellani shooting vests are manufactured in Italy and internationally recognized by elite shooters as the most popular, lightweight shooting vests on the market. Castellani vests are especially known for their Italian styling and superior craftsmanship and quality, making them a vest of choice for all shooting disciplines. Ultimate Shooting Accessories is the exclusive supplier of Castellani vests in the United States. Visit ultimateshootingaccessories.com for more information and to place your order.
My guest on the show today is from New London, Missouri, and has been shooting since the age of 8. Growing up around shooting and hunting has led him to be one of the guys at the top of the sport and now clinched his position for 2022 on Team USA. He's a great guy and a great shooter. Please welcome to the show, Eric Harvey. All right, another episode of Shotgun Sports USA, and I have Eric Harvey and special guest Zach Keenbaum on with us. What's up, guys?
How are you doing, Justin?
Good. We're recording this a little later because of some delays, but we're finally getting it in.
What were the delays?
Well, I mean, the time zone where I live in Savannah is different.
Uh-huh.
That's where Zach's at.
Right.
Right, Zach?
I have a lot of stuff going on. I got to take care of. And we finally talked Eric Harvey into doing a podcast.
Yeah, no. I don't think Eric. I think Eric wanted to do it.
I do it. Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Justin.
Yeah,
glad to be here.
Yeah. Last time we saw
finding time is the difficult thing right now.
That's right, Eric. Ever since I've started shooting, I've noticed you at shoots, right? And you're always at the top of I was at the top of the leaderboard. I mean, you're always shooting well. So I kind of want to do find out a little bit about yourself and let the people listening find out who Eric Harvey is. So there you go.
Gotcha. Very cool.
So kind of tell everybody, who you are, what you do for a living, and how you got into shooting.
Well, my name is Eric Harvey. My dad and myself own a company that we specialize in designing large residential custom houses. Of course, I enjoy what I do, but with COVID and everything going on, the last year and a half's been a nightmare.
Right.
And trying to find that balance of shooting and working, it's been tough. It's been a learning experience. But as far as where I got started shooting, it's kind of a long story. My dad used to own a gun club hunting preserve, and kind of the progression of the gun club hunting preserve growing is kind of the progression of my shooting and how it came along and stuff. But I started when I was very, very young, probably 7-8 years old is when I started shooting, and it kind of started where very primitive, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how a lot of people start. We started with just a single handset outer strap shooting in the field with a bunch of friends and stuff. And my dad kind of had the itch to start a gun club, but hadn't explored it very much. But he started where every Saturday we'd have a bunch of friends come over and we'd shoot games and stuff off that trap. And it was very primitive. Let me tell you, it was a little hut in the back of a family farm, and didn't have power, didn't have anything. We had an old marine battery with a pigtail light that we hooked up to see at night after all the shooting was done and stuff. But that's kind of where it started at. And then when we did this for probably about a year and a half. I saw an advertisement for a charity shoot at a little local gun club we had. And I talked my dad into going to that. And like I said, I was 7-8 years old at this time, and kind of went to that shoot and shot it. And it was a learning experience from going from the field out back to shooting a course. And I was hooked. Like I said, that was kind of the first time I saw the competition side, and that was kind of hooked me into the game. But at the same time of that going on, it was the first time my dad saw a course of the different stations and the different traps and that type of stuff. And on the way home, we were kind of talking that, yeah, this is what I want to shoot. And at the same time, he was going, yeah, I want a gun club. So that's kind of went back, and probably the next year on that same piece of property, primitive little place, my dad started to build a course. And we threw a lot of targets on a little 6 acre. I mean, it was a small place.
Yeah.
And we threw a lot of targets and kind of outgrew that place. And at that point, my dad decided, hey, this is actually turning into something. Let's start looking for some property. And we found 65 acres south of where we originally were. And worked. Say that again.
Where are we talking about?
Oh, well, I live in New London, Missouri, a little small, very rural town in Missouri, up here in the middle of nowhere. But
it sounds like it. I've never even heard of it.
When I say primitive, it's very primitive, guys. I mean, this was the reason we had the light was after we were done shooting, we would shoot all afternoon, and then at night we would play cards and throw dice. So at 6-7 years old, that's what I learned to do.
Yeah.
So when I say it was primitive, it was primitive. But
what year was this?
Oh, probably I'd have to do the math, but probably around 93, 94, maybe. I was born in 87, so that math don't add up. So probably 94, 95, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's kind of where it started. But then we went to what we now call the old club. And that's where I kind of learned the competition side of it. And I met some people that I owe a lot to, and kind of got me into the competition. But we built a course, built a couple 5 stands, and again, this was a small primitive place. I mean, it wasn't much of anything, kind of your little local club. Everybody gets together, but we threw a lot of targets. And this is kind of where I met a couple local shooters that I'm probably have heard of, Jeff Dickey.
Yep.
Don't know, but Jeff and a couple of our other locals took me to my first shoot. We went up to Eddyville, Iowa, and shot the Iowa State shoot. And that was the very first shoot that I ever shot up there.
That's Haley Dunn's club.
Haley Dunn's club. We just actually down at Nationals connected that. I didn't realize that. But I shot my first registered target up there at Haley's place. So
I didn't know Haley had a gun club, or her family, or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, up there in Iowa.
She's in Texas now, right?
Houston. Yep.
Houston. Yeah.
Houston. I'm not even sure if it's still open or not. I'm not sure if they throw targets up there anymore or not. But it was a fun time. It was a fun time. I actually won a trophy. I won a trophy at my first shoot. Got in the shoot off. I don't know what it was for. Don't have a clue. But I got in the shoot off and got a trophy. And that was kind of the hook of this is what I want to do. Like I said, I enjoyed shooting. So
Yeah.
But
that's all that matters. You get a trophy.
Yep, that's right. I got a trophy. But we from there, from this little place, and like I said, we threw a lot of targets. Looking back, I don't know how we threw the amount of targets we threw at this little place, but at that same time, probably 3 or 4 miles down the road, a hunting preserve came up for sale. And at that, kind of the same deal. We outgrew the place, and it was time to make a move. And we went to look at it, and it turned into a full-blown gun club hunting operation. We ran for many years, but we had ended up having 2 courses. We had 2 sporting clay courses, a bunch of trap fields, 5 stands. It was a flow deal. Now, we didn't throw many registered shoots. I bet the entire time we owned the place, we didn't have 3 registered shoots, but we threw a lot of targets, just everyday weekend shooting. And that's where I kind of got started at, from more of the recreation side than it was the competition side.
Yeah.
So Eric, I was always under the assumption that you were a trap shooter, but sounds like you were a sporting clay shooter first.
I was a sporting clay shooter first, but
okay.
We had a real good member that he turned out to be more like my grandpa than anything. Jim Overstreet came out and shot with us all the time, and he was a big trap shooter. Him and Leo Harrison. I'm sure you guys have heard of Leo. I live probably 5 minutes from where Leo lived, and they came up to me one day while we were at the club, and hey, we want you to go to trap shoot with us. I'm like, okay, I'll try anything. I love shooting. I love competing. let's go type deal. And my first shoot was a shoot called the Fall Handicap down here in Missouri, down at Lynn Creek. And it was a big money shoot. I didn't know it at the time going, but it was a big money shoot. And we started shooting, got signed up, all that type of stuff. And one of the very first events I ever shot at trap was a 50 bird wolf race they had down there.
What's a wolf race?
Wolf race is just it's a non-registered 50 targets. Let's bet a bunch, like a big entry fee, all back to payout. Let's go shoot type deal. And I didn't know any of this at the same time. Like I said, they took me, and here you go, here's what we're doing type deal. And we went out to this wolf race, and I ran the 50. It was 50 trap targets, and I've been shooting sporting for a while and kind of learned. I was not shooting how we do today, but I was shooting well. And you put me on trap field, well, this is easy. I'm not going to, this is simpler.
Oh, so you're saying trap's easier than sporting?
Oh, I'm not saying that. You caught me there. No. Going to be getting hate mail. No, but it's simpler. It's more of a mental game. And like I said, I've been shooting. So I ran out and ran the 50. And everybody was like all excited and making a big deal out of this. Well, I was sitting there thinking, I just broke 50 trap targets. What are we talking about here? And that night, they always post the payouts up on the window up there, down there at the Lynn Creek. And we're sitting there looking at that and looking at the payouts, and I got to adding stuff up. It's like, oh, I kind of understand this now. And I like trap shooting. So I spent the next years, however many years it was, I don't know, but I spent the next years trap shooting, traveling the country, shooting all the big shoots, kind of like we do sporting now, just traveling, shooting, competing. So, and it turned into a fun deal.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Wow.
That's where I started. And then my dad got burned out on the club. I went to college. It was always kind of our deal. Growing up and stuff, it was always kind of our deal. The club was what we did. I worked and, like I said, shot as much as I could, but I worked and helped him run the place and stuff. And I went to college, came back, finished up more college, and he got burned out and decided to sell the place, and kind of got out of it. Well, when he done that, I immediately kind of went to, I gotta find some shoots. This is what I want to do. I don't have it now in my backyard. And so a big group of us decided to go on vacation down to Louisiana in 2012, and we shot the Briley Mardi Gras shoot. And I don't remember
Briley Mardi Gras.
What shoot was that? Do you remember the name?
That's the Mardi Gras. That's the Mardi Gras. That's Cajun Elite. That's
Cajun Elite.
Every spring, that was the big deal. I mean, everyone came.
Well,
I'd come from California. Anthony would come from New Jersey. Brad Kidd and Corey Cruz lived in Lafayette there within an hour, less than an hour from Cajun Elite. And I missed that shoot. That was a lot of fun. The Louisianans, they know how to throw a party and they know how to throw a shoot.
Yep. We had
some great years down there.
Yep. Well, that was my first big shoot.
Did y'all never meet? Did y'all never meet each other back then?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't.
I was thinking about that the other day. I think I shot a World English. I believe it was in San Antonio. I don't think it was Nationals, but I shot like the Super Sporting event it was something down on the Dirty Dozen. I know we were down below. Might have been a K Cup. And you and Keegan, Eric's wife, I don't even know if they were married at the time.
No, we weren't.
I just randomly got squatted with him. I'm shooting with this guy. He's shooting well. I remember when we finished, I gave him some things that I think he needed to work on, but obvious the talent was there. Shooting a 687 double E double L.
Yep, double E.
The old Greg Wolf gun. Awesome little sporter, and he was a heck of a shooter.
I remember that just because I got squatted with somebody from California, and and I had made up my mind already that I didn't like Zach Keenbaum, and I never even met him.
Oh, whatever.
I did. No, you can ask Keegan about it. I'd made up my mind. I already didn't like Zach.
What?
I did. All
right, you got to go into this. Why didn't you like him?
Well, you got to remember where I'm from. I live in Missouri. Okay, we are very, very redneck, backwoods and stuff, and then we hear about California people and the politics. and now, before all my California friends get mad at me, I have completely changed tunes to that. I love everybody from California I've met. They're great people. So. It's just more of we never been around.
Justin. So 3-4 years ago, the Western Regional was out in California, and I told a lot of my friends, I'm like, you guys got to come. Trust me, we'll come out more than just to the shoot. We'll go see some stuff. And Eric was one of the people that was just anti. He's like, no way, I'll never go to California. It sucks. It's terrible. It took him about a half a day. I think he wants to go back now. I mean, he loved it.
I would go back tomorrow. Like I said, I'm ready to roll.
What did you like about it, Eric? What was so nice about it?
It was completely, again, you got to remember where I came from, but it was completely different than what we'd always heard. Beautiful terrain. The people were great. I mean, everybody I had met from California has been awesome. I got a lot of good friends. Just a mindset, I guess you could say, of just you hear about the politics and stuff and hear about what goes on, and like I said, formulate opinion from that. So, but no, like I said, I loved it. I loved the club. The club was awesome. What club? That was Quail
Point.
Quail Point,
just north of Sacramento, Northern California.
And it was a great place. We stayed at all of us got a house out there, and it was it was a good time. Ready to go back. So,
yeah,
But no, like I said, Mardi Gras was my first shoot. That was the first big shoot I ever went to anyways. And then from there, I kind of just shot a little bit, nothing serious. I shot our state shoots. I started shooting our state shoots then and kind of done well. And then I hate to even bring this up. I hate to even mention it, but the PSCA started. And that was kind of what brought me into the game, so to say. And now it had its flaws, all that type of stuff. I don't want to get into that, but that's what got me back into shooting. And then from there, it was just let's move full forward, and I wouldn't miss a shoot now. I love it. I'll be doing this until they put me in the ground. So
yeah, you was talking about PSCA. We talk about that all the time on here, but just look at the amount of people that it really helped, or how excited people got to go shoot that. It's just too bad that it's not there anymore. It was.
I can say now, like I said, it had its flaws, but I can say I'm sitting here because of the PSCA. In my mind at the time, there wasn't anything for like a shooter for me to shoot for. All-American team. I didn't shoot enough or anything like that. Team USA stuff was for like Zach and Anthony, those guys.
Mhm.
There wasn't really anything in my mind for a shooter like me. And that's what the PSCA kind of done or got me started in and got me into a whole different world. Like I said, now I wouldn't miss a shoot for anything. I love it.
Right.
But it was that first step that got me here, so to say.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
But
I think the first time that I met Eric, no, it wasn't the first time I met him. It was, I know that we were in Chicago I think it was a regional or something, and we stayed in a house.
Together, yep.
Yeah, there was 5 or 6 or 8 of us. I don't know how many it was, but it was a house that was upstairs. It was the upstairs part of a house, and we all piled in there. It had 1 bathroom. I think it had 2 bedrooms and a living room, and it had a window unit in just one of the bedrooms. Let me tell you something. If anybody knows me, knows that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah, but we all made it and had a good time. But I think that was
had a good time. I got the bedroom with the window unit too, if I remember correctly.
By yourself. I came sleeping
by myself.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I never did. I can sleep on the floor, and I never did understand how I got the bedroom.
Yeah, well, you didn't tell nobody that. You should have told somebody.
No, I can sleep on the floor, buddy. I can sleep anywhere. But what's even funnier about that story is. Now, again, I slept through the night. I slept awesome all night, but there was a tree hit the house or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
And knocked the power out.
It did. The whole tree fell in the front yard, knocked the power out. They didn't have any air conditioner. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
But my room was cool enough. I slept all night. I didn't even know a tree hit the house. So, it all worked out just fine.
Yeah. So, being at Nationals, we were talking about, in the last podcast we did about the wind, and kind of go into your experience at Nationals and this year, and we'll go from there.
Nationals wasn't the best shoot for me. I had a blast. I'm talking about shooting performance. It wasn't the best shoot for me, and I always say it's hard to beat experience. It's hard to beat being put in positions and in situations and how to handle them and that type of stuff. And that's what Nationals was a huge learning spree for me. We kind of expand on something that Anthony said in that podcast we did. He lost his confidence, and that's 100% what happened to me. We shot an event, and I was actually shooting with Zach. We always shoot Nationals together, and it was our 5-stand event, and I shot what I felt like was a really, really good round. And then come count the score up, and I think I broke like an 89 or something. And it was just like, man, I felt like it was just one of those rounds. I felt like I shot a lot better than what the score showed. And then pulling up, looking at the scoreboard and stuff. And I think Will gets put up like a 95 or 96. And there was just a fight. And it's just, at that point, I even talked to my wife, Keegan, about it. Like that just knocked me down, so to say. And I still feel like it was a decent round, but it just didn't score well, type thing. And but that's where I lost my confidence in Nationals, and I knew it was going to be a rough weekend for me.
I'll expand on that a little bit. I was telling Eric at the time, like when we finished, he was kind of down. I'm not down. I shot less than Eric, but I was trying to tell him that really there's some scores you shoot throughout the years that in inclement weather like that no one will ever know about. No one will ever know how well you actually shot because it's not the winning score. He was killing target. I promise you, there was a teal on 5-stand 4 that was 100 yards. And he is crushing this thing every time. I mean, he shot one of the rounds of his life, but like I said, no one will ever know because it doesn't show up. And that's experience. That's I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've never been in a situation before to that effect. Right. And that's where I should have kept going with my weekend, and I just kind of, I'm not going to say gave up. I didn't give up by any means, but it knocked me down from where I was at, so to say, mentally and stuff. The other thing is going back to work, finding that balance of juggling work and juggling, like I said, shooting, all that type of stuff. And that happened a little bit for me at Nationals, but to sum it all up, I shot horrible at nationals. I shot horrible, but had a good time. And like I said, I'm regrouping and shooting a lot and gonna hammer as soon as we can. So, but
now, Justin, he's telling you he shot terrible, but I don't even know if he realizes, but Eric made Team USA for the first time this year.
Oh, I did not know that.
Eric will be on Team USA in San Antonio with the World English.
Nice.
Shooting for the red, white, and blue. So obviously you didn't shoot that bad, and you had an awesome year.
Well,
yeah, that's good.
That's a blind squirrel found an acorn type deal.
Whatever.
Yeah. Zach, he's finally going to get a vest with his name on the back.
Right?
I mean,
I know.
He's been shooting forever in just a blank vest. Like, who's that guy right
there? But no, it's all that means is I almost shoot well in a lot of events, is what that means.
No, I mean, you got to think, Zach, how many people are on Team USA, men?
5.
5 men?
5 on the team plus 1 alternate, so 6.
All right. So what does that tell you, Eric?
Well, okay, here's what it tells me. I haven't won a single thing. You always ask everybody what they've won. I haven't won a single thing. I get a pile of trophies. I've got a lot of runner-ups, and M1s, M2s, thirds, but I want to win something soon. So,
but it will happen.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Sounds like you're
I
there.
don't know. I'm starting to doubt it, bud. I'm starting to doubt it, but. I'm looking forward to next year. So
now let me ask you this: as long as I've known you, you've shot a DT11. Is that what you have always shot?
Well, that's actually a story in itself. I've always shot Berettas. Beretta True, kind of to expand, talk about coming full circle and stuff. Back in the very beginning, back when I was 7, 8 years old at the hut, somebody had brought a Beretta book. And at 7, 8 years old, in that book, I found a Beretta 390, and that was kind of my dream gun, so to say. So when I finally got around and bought a gun, my first gun was actually a Beretta 390. So, kind of come full circle, but I've always shot Berettas. And, I shot a 390 for a while. I shot a 391 for just a little bit, and then went back to a 390. And then I went to, what was it? A 687 EELL, that gun that Zach was talking about earlier. I shot that for a while. And actually, where were we at, Zach? I was actually shooting with Zach again, and it broke.
What gun broke?
My EELL.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
I'm trying to think where we were at. But I finished the round. This was like on the second stage. We were at Bass Pro down shooting one of the PSCA events, and
Branson.
And my EELL broke a spring, and I didn't have anything spring, so I finished the round. I shot from our second station on Zach's DT, and that was where I found the love of my DT, and got one very quickly after that, and ended up going to Greenwood to get a stock made, and I've been shooting DTs ever since.
All right, so let's talk about that for a second. That PSCA shoot, I was there. Didn't the qualifier? Didn't you win that qualifier that year?
Yes, I was the top qualifier going into the night stuff.
With my gun?
With your gun. Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. I shot your gun better than I did mine. And that's where I got on the DT and on the Greenwood stock, and kind of found all of that stuff. But yeah, no, I actually shot your DT.
You didn't know that,
awesome.
Zach?
Oh man, no, I forgot. Maybe he beat me so bad that I had to blank it out.
It's gone. But no.
Now that we're talking about that is the first time that I saw your name. Back
that down there.
Was that 16 or 17, somewhere in there?
Oh,
something like that.
Know.
Yeah, it was something like that.
I don't know. I'm horrible with remembering shoots and dates and where we're at and stuff. The people that can do that just amaze me. Remember where they were at when they were and all that stuff. But I've shot Berettas forever, and I'll always will. I don't ever want to say never, but I'll shoot Berettas for a long time. I love them. So
Being a brand name in the clay target industry, Rick Hemingway has said, "Have you ever noticed almost all major sporting events are being run by Pro-Matic traps?" Think about that statement for a minute. He's right, and you may want to consider that before making your next purchase. Rick is the largest Pro-Matic dealer specializing in individual and commercial trap sales. Rick provides skeet, trap, 5-stamp, and sporting clays, designs, installs, and service. He also offers accessories such as solar panels, wireless release systems, as well as the hottest item on the market, the Claybot by Renair Products. Visit www.backwoodsquailclub.com or give him a call at 843-546-1466.
Yeah, we were talking about confidence a minute ago. Both of you can answer this, but why? And I'm going to ask Anthony too when I see him again, but how do you lose that? Like, how do you lose? I mean, Zach's 2-time national champion, silver medal in World FITASC. How do you lose confidence in yourself when you know you can do it? I don't understand. Or how do you get so nervous about it?
For me, confidence is a big thing for me. When I feel good, it's something hard to explain. When I feel good, everything good's happening. It's easy. I'm not going to say it's happening. The minute something goes wrong or something starts feeling uncomfortable, that's where I lose my confidence and it gets real shaky real quick.
Yeah.
And it takes me a little bit to get it put back together. I don't know. It's something hard to explain. It's something hard to explain. It's more mental stuff for me. I start doubting something, second guessing something. That's where I start getting a little astray. Now it's always an easy fix. I can fix it usually in 25, 50 shells, but it's a matter of taking that time and whatever I feel like is going wrong, fix it really quick.
Yeah.
Don't let it compound. But I don't. It's something hard for me to explain. I guess I haven't learned exactly what controls it yet, and maybe Zach can expand on that or help that. But I haven't learned how to control that yet.
How can you control that? I mean, Zach?
I'm not sure that you can. I think it's a maturity thing. I think it's an experience thing. I definitely, I can think back in 10, 15, 20 years ago, and I agree with everything he's saying. But in time, after kind of getting over some humps and just getting comfortable in my own skin, as far as talking about myself, and realizing that the game isn't about this one shoot or this one title. And when people look back and think about your shooting, they're going to look at a body of work, not just this shoot this weekend, and learning to kind of be okay with the outcome and not putting quite so much pressure. But again, that's I can say that till I'm blue in the face to a lot of people, but it's something we got to kind of come around on our own.
Alone.
Yeah.
Something
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Something you got to learn for yourself. Yeah. No, I get that.
Yep.
It goes back to what I said. I'm a true believer. It's hard to beat experience. You got to be put in the positions, the situations, and learn how to handle them. So.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It seems like every shoot, I mean, this is just me, and I don't know why I think this, but I think I'm supposed to do, I mean, it don't matter if it's just a weekend shoot or a big shoot. Like, if I start missing, it just makes me mad. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, this is some, and then I think, oh, last time you practiced was 6 months ago. So, I mean, and then it kind of calms me down a little bit, but it makes me mad all the time. Like when I don't shoot good, and it don't make it. Zach's just happy all the time. You know what I mean? He's just always happy. I've dropped 9. I'm on the 4th station, but I'll do okay. And it's it's just different people, I guess, handle it different ways. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So,
it's about having fun for me. That's one thing that I love the game so much that even when I am shooting, I don't ever get mad. I'm having fun no matter what I'm doing, no matter how I'm shooting.
I guess I should say aggravated before I say mad.
Aggravated.
You know what I mean? It's just. But when you're in a competition, all right. So you're shooting national championship, okay, and both of you are talented enough to win the national championship, and you get out there and you're competing for this title, but you also have to have fun at the same time. How do you mix the two fun with knowing I need to be competitive?
I love competing. That's when I'm having fun. When I'm shooting a big shoot, competing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a competitive person by nature, and that's what's fun to me. And then being around the people, we have an awesome group of people in the shooting world. But when I'm competing, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
For me.
Do you still have fun with it, Zach?
I do.
It's your job.
I
It's not my
agree
job.
with Eric.
It's not my job or Eric's, but it's your job. So you still have fun, even though it's your job.
What I can tell you, strangely enough, and this is all in the last year and a half, some of these final rounds and some of these major shoots, in my mind, I'm halfway through and I'm thinking to myself, I'm ready for this to be over. Not just this round. Like, I've been doing this so much. This stress. Win or lose. Just can we get this over with?
We'd be done. Why do you feel like that is? Why do you feel?
I don't know. And it probably because it's a job. Probably because I've been doing it so long. I still love it. I agree with you 1,000%. Competition is the fun to me.
Yep.
I don't ever see. I might slow down, but I don't ever see myself stopping competing. I
love the game. I love the game too much. I'll be doing this till they put me in the ground. I love
going to new places. I love going all around the country, all around the world, and seeing clubs and shooting targets that I've never seen before, and places I've never seen, and the whole gamut of the travel is something I love.
I love meeting the people too. Like I said, it's a good group. Think about how many friends we have from all over. It's a cool deal.
Somebody asked me that the other day, we were talking about friends, and I said, a lot of people that I consider friends don't even live around here. They're just all over the place. And
I consider them family. There's a large group of shooters that I consider family now. Like I said, that's just we see them more than family.
That's true. That's definitely true.
We started shooting, traveling. It's a once, twice, 3 times a month. But
and you go to these shoots and you stay with them in a house like you live together.
Yep. Yep. Cook together.
Yeah.
Eat and have big meals and stuff. I love it.
You think we could get Zach to tell us what that meat is now that he likes to eat so much?
I'm not going to talk about this on the podcast.
I'm telling you,
because I do not want everyone knowing about my favorite cut of meat.
For the people that don't know, Zach can actually cook, and he can do it really well. It's just a matter of getting him to do it.
Zach, you think it's going to be scarce or something if everybody knows about it? Like you'll never be able to find it again?
Yes.
I live in the Midwest. We're like the heart of beef country. We have cattle farms. We feed lots. That's what we do up here. And I've never heard of the cut of meat that he's talking about.
I hadn't either.
I'm not talking about it, am I?
I thought it was
We're trying.
It sounds like a fish. So, but
I can't even pronounce it.
It's called a picanha.
Yeah. Well,
what part of the cow is that?
It is from it's really close to the tri-tip. Have you ever heard of tri? You're not from California, but have you ever eaten tri-tip?
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
I believe it's from close to the tri-tip. It's up high on the rump. It's a muscle that isn't really used. It's got a cap. In the U.S., an American butcher would call it a top sirloin cap. I believe the French call it a culotte. I don't even know how they pronounce it, but it's picanha, and nobody out there should go search them out because they're excellent.
He cooked us some down in Houston. Is that where we were at? Yeah, Houston, down in Houston. He cooked us some on a grill, and I'm telling you, it was good. Zach can cook.
I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know he could cook.
Yeah.
I knew he could eat. I just didn't know he could cook.
Breakfast is his specialty. He can cook breakfast. When we're staying at the house, when we're all staying at a house together, breakfast is his specialty. Now, you might have to eat breakfast at like 11:30, but Zach's breakfast is awesome. So.
We were texting the other day in a group text, and I said something, and I think you said, Zach's not up yet. Okay.
Oh, whatever.
That was like way early for Zach. I mean, that was like 10 o'clock. So,
Yeah, well, when we go down to Savannah, we normally get there around 10 o'clock, and Zach's always there. Now,
really?
yeah, you believe that?
Man, very cool. But
So now
no,
talk about Team USA. I didn't know this. I'm kind of excited for you. Were you shooting for this year?
I wasn't really shooting. We started out at the Western Regional, and I ended up runner up out there at Western Regional. I shot well, everything felt well, and shot there. And then I don't remember what our next regional was, but I didn't shoot well at it. Northeast, I think it was the Northeast Regional.
Yeah,
which that's a whole story in itself. But didn't shoot well at the Northeast, and then we went somewhere, and I had another good shoot, and it kind of just let it happen, so to say. I wasn't watching it, wasn't really paying attention to it. My wife is the one that actually brought it to my attention, that it was a possibility. And like I said, I didn't really pay much attention to it. Just I don't feel like I'm at that point yet, but working towards it.
Eric, you're at that point. Trust me.
Yeah.
He's not giving himself enough credit, is he, Zach?
He doesn't. He definitely has this self-deprecating type personality, which is a good thing. Except when it comes to confidence. Deep down, I actually do believe he's a very confident person, shooter. But he likes to downplay his own shooting.
He's not the bragging type.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's I like to let it all happen. What happens type deal. But my goal, if you were to ask me what my goal is, it is to win a big shoot. That's my next. I feel like my next stepping stone is to win something finally.
It don't matter what it is. You just want to win something.
It don't matter what it is. I want to win a big shoot. Yeah, I don't care what it is.
You won a big shoot this fall.
What shoot was that?
What shoot was that?
The all around.
Oh, the all around. That was a good shoot. I wouldn't consider that a big shoot, but that was a good shoot. That was the Coonpecker. That was the Coonpecker World all around. That was a fun deal.
Now, for people listening, don't know what that is. What is that a combination of, Eric?
That was an event that Gary Fitzgerald put together over here at FLC, and it was a fun event. We shot flyers, live pigeons, and then we shot Halise one day, and then the next day we went down and shot all the American games at the Winchester Gun Club. We shot 100 American skeet, 127-yard trap, and 50 trap doubles. And then we go back, and then the final day we shot VTask and sporting. And it was a fun event. It was a lot of shooting. It was the second day wore us out.
Yeah.
And it was one of those fluke weather events. It was hot as the day is long up here, but it was a fun event. It was a good event, but it was. I don't consider that it was a big shoot. Okay, it was a big money shoot.
Right.
It was a big money shoot, but it's not what I'm talking about as far as big shoots. I want to win a regional or something to that effect.
Yeah, you want the title, so to speak.
I want the title. Yeah, I don't care about anything else. I want the title.
Yeah.
That's what I'm shooting for. Gary had a good shoot. That was the Coonpecker that you always hear about, and it was a fun deal. It was a fun deal.
Yeah. Are you going to Gary's Winter Spectacular?
I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to try. But my wife is actually having a baby here in 4 weeks, so I'm not sure if it's going to work out or not.
Did you plan that in the off season? Is that what you did?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, after I always joke after nationals, before the Jacqueline shoot now. So I had to time it right. She planned it all out. I told her she knows she has to. So it all worked out.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're expecting a baby. I think I was told today 4 weeks from today. So that's coming up quick.
Well, that's good. That's going to totally change your life for sure. If you don't already know
it's
that.
Gonna, yeah, it's going to change Keegan's life big time. But I'm sure it's going to change mine also. But we're looking forward. And this is all her planning. We're going to go spend 3 weeks in Florida. She's going to be on maternity leave. So we're going to go down and we're going to shoot the Zoli, the Caribbean, and the Jack Link shoot. So we're going to spend 3 weeks in Florida with the newborn. So
nice.
Looking forward to that.
Going to raise her up right.
That's right. I was going to say, might as well start it. Like I said, get the kid used to it. So
now you're talking about you shot Halise. Do you shoot that often?
We just started shooting. I like shooting Halise. We just started shooting it. We've got 3 Halise fields right there by us now. Gary's got one, putting in a second, and then I got a friend that we shoot with that he just put one in here at his house 10 minutes from my house. That's something that I might do on the side, just hey, let's go try this, go do shoot something. But it's not something I'm going to go shoot tournaments and go full circuit crazy on. But it's fun to shoot. I enjoy shooting. Same thing with pigeons. I enjoy shooting live pigeons. Might go shoot 1 or 2 shoots next year, but not going to go full tilt with it.
Yeah. This past few weeks or whenever it was, there was a shoot up here at Cherokee Rose, and they got a Halise ring, and it's the first time I really paid any attention to it, and it looked really fun. I saw that shoot. I was actually going to come down to that shoot. If I had seen that shoot earlier, what was that shoot? That was the Fraser 500. Yeah.
500. I was actually going to come down to that shoot and didn't see it in time.
Yeah.
But
got to get ready to be familiar with it for that Gator Cup coming.
Well, I'm looking forward to any shoot down south. I'm trying to find a reason to go south. I hate cold weather, and our weather up here has already turned. It's cold. We already had the snow. So I'm trying to find any and every reason to get out of here.
So you've got big news with a baby coming. You've also got big news in the shooting world, which is exciting, I know, for you, and that's that you are now part of Team Winchester. Yeah.
Winchester's right here local by me, and been shooting Winchester for a long time, and I actually shoot with Donnie and Brett, the president of Winchester, a lot, and signed with them, and it's an honor. Like I said, it's cool to be able to represent a company like Winchester.
Yeah.
Be a part of a team that they have. You look at the team photo and the members of Team Winchester. It's cool to be standing there with those guys.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah. Winchester, in my opinion, getting to know these guys and all the people that are on the team, is that it's like they're the Rolls Royce of ammunition as far as a company. Everything they do is top notch, and that's the people are top notch, and it's just, they're unbelievable.
One of the things I love about it, and it's neat to be a part of now, is the support they're putting back into the sport. Look at the Ladies Cup, sponsoring of the championship tour. It's cool to see a company going full tilt like that.
Yeah.
And it's an honor to be part of it now. So
now, what shells are you? I know you're shooting Winchesters. What shells are you shooting?
I'm shooting the 1250 super handicaps, the ounce and 8 super handicaps, and then the 1 ounce 1290s. That's my 2 go-to shells. I've always loved those. I'm playing with the idea of shooting 1 ounce more, maybe shooting some sporting with 1 ounce, but I don't know. That's kind of a mental deal for me that I'm trying to get by. I used to shoot the biggest shell possible.
Really?
It was ounce and 8, 1300. Let's go. And it was beating me. It was beating me. I started playing with shells just a little bit, and I dropped to the super handicap 1250, and I'm breaking them just as hard with that one as I was the 13. So it's like, well,
and the 1 ounce will hit them just as hard too, I think.
And that's, well, going back, what got me thinking about this is the 1 ounce 1290 has very little recoil for me compared to the other ones. And looking at some of the FETAS scores I've broke in the last year and a half with the 1 ounce 1290, it's like, okay, let's not take the punishment, and hopefully to keep the scores type thing. So but like I said, it's a mental deal for me. It's one of those deals I need to commit to it and go shoot and see what happens.
Yeah. Zach, explain that. You're telling me this when I was down there shooting with you one day, the difference in the recoil of a 1290 and a 1250 ounce and 8 1 ounce. You said one of them has like a pop, and one of them.
Well, I think we were comparing ounce and an eighth. Like, how do I like to explain it? So the super handicap is the ounce and an eighth at 1250, and the pulse. The way I describe it is the pulse of recoil. It's an elongated. It's a good push. I mean, it's too much for a lot of people, but it's a longer period of time as it pushes into your shoulder. Whereas I think we were also comparing them to the 1 ounce Super Sport, which is a 1 ounce 1350.
Mm-hmm.
That shell has a very quick, sharp punch.
Pop. Yeah,
Pop.
it's
like quick, very fast, and it's quite a bit. And then moving into the 1290 is similar to the 1250. It's a longer push. And there might be just as much push there, but it's the pulse is so much longer that it doesn't affect you quite the same. I mean, and I've explained that entirely the way I would have. But
if you had time to think about
it's the time that the recoil is happening. And I like like he said, the ounce and an eighth 1250 super handicap and the light handicap 1 ounce 1290. They're just, to me, are very comfortable for most full, bigger guys.
Yeah. I was telling you this the other day, my 12-year-old was shooting some 1 ounce 1290s the other day, and he loved them. It didn't bother him at all. It was
awesome.
That was,
cool.
So good shells and great company, and
a
lot of support.
I got to tell one more story, kind of coming full circle again.
Right.
Back in the primitive day up on the hill, my dad kind of learned the value of a dollar deal, but my dad made me save up and buy my first case of shells I shot. And the very first case of shells I purchased on my own was a case of Winchesters. Kind of coming all full circle. So
yeah,
I think that's very telling. And you can in today's shooting, I mean, there's pros that get sponsored by different companies, and you can never fault anyone for helping their career. But when you pay attention to some of these same people, when they're buying ammo, when they're paying for it with their own money,
what are they shooting?
It's pretty telling to look at what they're buying.
And they all say the same thing too. Man, they smoke a target, man.
Oh, they crush a target. They crush a target. That goes back to a confidence deal for me. That's one thing that helps my confidence is when I'm smoking targets. When I'm hitting stuff hard, everything feels good.
Yeah. Well, that's
kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
Yeah.
And that works hand in hand with confidence.
Yep. 100%.
When you can walk off a stand, ink balling a pair or running the stand with really convincing breaks in this, in sporting clays, we have 5 to 10 more minutes before we get in the box again. So in that 5 to 10 minutes, you are that much more confident, which is going to allow you to make the right plan on the next station. It's easier to keep your eye on the target because you're not doubting anything in your mind. There's a lot that plays into that.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Now, that brings up a good point. Does, some of these shoots, I mean, there's just a lot of people there, and you have to wait, for the squad ahead of you to finish. Does a big wait time bother you at all, Eric?
It does me, yes. That's something that I am learning and working on right now is when I can cook through a round, I'm going to shoot very well. When we get backed up at a station where we're 3 or 4 squads behind or something went down, I've got to learn how to occupy that time. It goes back to, like I said, waiting and stuff. The downtime takes me out of the mood to shoot, so to say.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm working on right now is, okay, what to do. Zach gets on his phone, and I don't know how he does it because he never answers a text message or anything, so I don't know what he's doing. But
Whatever.
But I got to find something to occupy that time for me. But like I said, it's all a learning process. It's just taking that next step and figuring out the next problem and solving it and going on to the next one. So,
yeah, I don't know. It bothers me too. I mean, I just don't know. There's nothing you could do about it. If it's wait times at every single station, you got 15 stations to shoot, you're on station number 6 and you've been shooting it for 2 hours. I'm done.
Yeah. It's part of our game. Stuff happens. It's just a matter of, for me, how to handle it, so to say.
Yeah. How do you handle that, Zach? Just look at your phone.
Oh, 100%. He gets on his phone.
Whatever. I mean, it can still affect me. I can think of the Gator Cup a few years ago. I lost kind of on the last couple stands, and those are 17 stand courses with A and B squads. That's a very, very full tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a big wait on our second to last stand, and it's affected me in the past. Now, I mean, it's part of the sport. I mean, really, but most of our rounds, let's be honest, most of our rounds at these big shoots don't take that long, but occasionally you'll have one. It's like anything else, you got to deal with it.
Stuff happens.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad. I don't really have a good answer for that. Just spend time with your friends, spend time with your squad, talk to people. Don't be standing up there staring at targets the whole time. I promise you that.
All right. Well, why? All right. You see people doing that. Why don't you want to do that?
I don't want to. I'm tired. It takes a lot of effort to look at 100 the way you need to. Your 100 birds. And I think just kind of standing up there and analyzing it too long can be a detriment. But obviously, if someone's earlier on in their start in the game, it may help them to watch. I don't really have a great answer for that.
See, I agree with not watching that type of stuff. It's one of those things. I'm going to shoot, for me, kind of just a general rule of thumb, I'm going to shoot a course the best the first time I shoot it. And when I'm standing there watching that many people shoot, in my mind, I'm shooting. Okay, I'm shooting. I'm going through the moves, seeing what's going wrong, that type of stuff to fix it. And if I stand there that long and watch that many people shoot, I've already shot that target 50 times. And that's going to end up hurting me.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that if you sit up there and watch too many targets, that you're putting too much effort or too much strain on your eyes to watch targets that don't matter to you. Zach might have told me that. I don't know who told me that. Somebody told me.
Say I agree with it.
Yeah,
I agree with it big time. But no, this game is all about problem solving in my mind. Identifying a problem, fix it. Identifying a problem, fix it. And I think it goes back to experience and just what you can learn and gain and all that stuff, and just keep grinding. So,
all right, Eric, tell me about Keegan. Tell me about your wife. I know she's always with you. She's always been a big support. She's been always supported.
She's a trooper.
Yeah,
I have to give Keegan some credit. She travels. She tries to go to many. She loves it too. She loves the hanging out, not so much the shooting part of it, but she loves everything else of it. And that's what she loves. And she tries to go to many shoots as possible, but she's a trooper. She goes out, and no matter what the weather is, and goes out and sits out there with us and watches everything. So, and looking forward, she's planning that with the baby coming and all that type of stuff. So we'll see how that goes and see how long that lasts. But Keegan's a big trooper. She supports everything and right there along with everybody. So
she likes to give Eric a hard time, but she's his biggest fan. She has a full-time job. I mean, she's a nurse. She has a real job, and she's at almost every one of these big shoots. I mean, she'll fly out on Friday after work and either fly home on Sunday afternoon or ride back with Eric, whatever she needs to do.
You want to talk about getting aggravated? When she gets more aggravated than I do when I'm shooting bad. She's chucked apples at me. We were at, I don't remember what shoot we were, but we were shooting and I had a bad station, and I turned around, I'm walking out of the station, and she just threw an apple at me. so she.
You know why she did that, don't you?
Oh no, why is that?
Well, because you ride her around in a Ranger with no windshield or top.
No windshield.
I know. I told him he needs to get at least a roof on that thing. When that baby comes, you better have a roof on your bed.
I'm thinking about getting a new Ranger. I love the old Rangers, but I'm thinking about getting a new one just for that. But No,
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I like being out. I like being out in the elements. So
I saw you at Nationals riding around. I said, he still don't have no windshield on that Ranger.
oh, I got one. I got a top end windshield. I just never had put it on.
Yeah, I'd have to have that thing on.
It gets hot. You get down in Kansas or one of those shoots, and that's when I wish I had a top or a windshield on.
Yeah.
It gets warm.
You know, you're talking about your wife coming to the shoots. A lot of people bring their wives and their family to shoots, and it's not just the shooters all get along for the most part, hang out, but the wives also do the same thing. They become friends with other wives, and I think that's great. It's like a true family sport.
Yep.
You know,
it's like one big family, and that's a lot of shooters. And like I said, it's became one big family in my mind. Like I said, real close, and everybody's a part of everybody's lives, and that's one thing I love about the shooting game and the shooting world is how close it is, type thing. But she, like I said, she's always there. She's a trooper. She puts up with a lot. So
yeah, that's what matters. At least she likes going. Some people don't like to go.
Yep. She hates or I wish we could get her to shoot. That's one thing I wish we could get her to shoot. She shoots well. She actually shoots a little bit around here, around home, and she shoots well. I just can't get her to do it around people. And but like I said, she gets tired of the shooting part. She loves the social stuff later on. Justin, what's the first shoot you're going to be at this year?
I'm going to, I don't know what the first shoot is. I know, so one is a buddy of mine, one of Zach's new students. He's my registration man. Well, he tells me I'm the registration man, and he's the hotel guy. But the problem is, I tried to be the hotel guy, and I would always book the week before or the week after, never the right week. After. So he's like, "Listen, I'm going to handle the hotels, and you handle the registration." Well, I forget to register, and so now he's handling registration and the hotel. So I think he's got us register as Jack Link's the first shoot. Is that what it is? I guess.
That's my first shoot for sure.
That's the first big one. I was gonna say, we're going down early to shoot a couple before it, but
yeah, Jack Links is where I'm gonna be first. I'm excited about going down there. I've always liked Quail Creek, and I know it's under new ownership. We'll see how that is, and
that goes. Yeah,
have a good
Quail
time.
Quail Creek's always been my favorite club in the United States. That's one place I love. So hopefully they continue and everything keeps going well down there.
Yeah, that's a lot of money on the line down there too for somebody.
Yeah,
$150,000 purse. In they're spreading it out really well.
Right.
But it's a good one.
Yeah, it is. So that's your first shoot, Zach?
Yes, definitely.
Now, World Championship. When is that? I know it's in Texas, but when is it?
I believe it's April.
I was gonna say, I want to say the end of April, maybe.
Yeah, I knew it was early. I knew it was early. I just didn't know how early.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that'll be good. Not too hot. Be fun. I wonder if the people from overseas are going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I believe the borders are all open now.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think everything opened.
I think December 1st, or I'm sorry, November 1st.
Is that when? Okay.
Everything opened up.
Well, good. I'd like to meet some of those guys, and I actually talked to Mark Windsor about shooting with him. Supposed to be on. I don't know if you can do that or not, but I want to shoot something with him. Just
great guy.
Yeah, Eric. I mean, it's a long road that you've been down. You're part of Team USA now. I know you've got some people that you want to thank. Who are those people?
I owe a lot of people. In kind of my journey, my shooting career, so to say. The first one, and I mentioned him earlier, and like I said, a lot of your listeners probably haven't heard of him. They probably have heard him, but they haven't heard of him. Would be Jeff Dickey. Jeff is kind of the one that got the competition fired in me. Like I said, it started the drive and kind of got me to pretty far.
Yeah.
Desi, I owe Desi a lot. Desi's helped me with a lot of stuff. There's somebody else there with Desi. I guess Zach. I guess Zach. I don't know. I hate to mention Zach. His head will get big, but or bigger. But Zach, I owe Zach and Desi a lot. Like I said, I've never actually had a formal lesson from anybody. I've never taken a lesson from anybody, but being good friends with Zach and Desi, I've got a lot of help along the way. So
right.
I got Brian Buzzy. I owe him deeply. So shout out to him. But
Beretta.
With
Brian
Beretta.
and Beretta. Yeah.
Yep, Brian Buzzy with Beretta. But no, I have to say that's a long list, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody important. But there's been a lot of people help me along the way. So thank you to all of them. So thank you to all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those names stand out. So
yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on. This actually was fun to me. We've all known each other or talked with each other for a few years now, and it's good to come on a podcast and just talk about things and find out new things about people. Like, I did not know that Eric made Team USA, which, like I said, I'm happy for you. Congratulations with that.
He wouldn't mention a word about it. That's just Eric's personality. He doesn't ask for anything. He doesn't toot his own horn. I'm kind of funny. We're going to go back a couple months. I got a call from Brett at Winchester, and he says, "Hey, what do you think about, I was thinking we should sponsor Eric Harvey." And I said, "That's a great idea, Brett." And he told me, he says, "You want to know why?" He says, "I shoot with Eric 2 to 3 weekends a month. He's obviously a great shooter. His results speak for themselves. But he never asks for anything." He says, "There's a lot of shooters that ask for things. Eric is not one of them, and I want to help him. I think he's an excellent shooter, but more importantly, he's a great person, and I think he'd be a good addition. What do you think?" And I'm like, big thumbs up. I'm like, awesome. But that's Eric. He's never gonna toot his own horn or talk about himself much.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Wow.
That's good quality to have.
It is.
But when you're just deserving, I mean, when you have won or become a part of something like that,
I haven't won anything. That's what I'm saying.
He has.
Anything, guys. But, no.
yeah, somebody go shoot against him and watch what happens.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, thanks for coming on, and
Justin, thanks for having me, buddy. It's been
man.
fun.
Yeah, and I appreciate y'all's time, and I guess we'll see you somewhere.
We'll see you soon. Like I said, if it gets any colder up here, I'm coming south. So might see you sooner than later.
Yeah, Zach's got a spare room over there.
Yeah,
2 of them.
I never get an invite to Zach's though.
Oh, what? He's a liar. Gosh.
I've been to Zach's house. Zach's invited me over.
Yeah.
I've never seen the place. Like I said, never get invited. So
yeah, he's got a family of deer in his yard. He's got sharks in the backyard. He's got all kind of stuff.
I've been seeing the pictures of deer.
I know.
I've been seeing the pictures of deer.
Yeah,
we got some good ones this year. Some really good ones. They're rutting right now. They're crazy. They're running around in the middle of the day.
Where were you at another day on a golf cart and one walked up to you? Is that your neighborhood?
That was yesterday. That was over, like 2 minutes away on the golf cart. But one of the lagoons we like to fish, and that little spike, he's walking up within 10 feet.
Yeah.
Someone must be feeding him or something, not us.
Yeah.
That's our season just started, and they are just now starting to chase and get going serious. So,
Zach, what is that? What is that? You've got something mounted sitting right by the window or the door in your house. What is that? And
the one that's been there?
Yeah, and the deer just walk up and look at it like, what is that?
That's a black buck. That's a black buck that I shot with Keith Higgins and Kevin DeMichael.
Yeah.
And it's real close to the back window. We have big windows in the back of the house. And these deer, these little does, will walk nose to the glass, and they're staring at this black buck trying to figure out what it is. It's pretty funny.
So anyway, yeah. Moral of the story, Eric, is you got a place to stay at Zach's, and he can cook
Gotcha.
He can cook you some pecan wood too.
Some
pecan wood.
Yeah.
Breakfast and pecan wood. There you go.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys.
Been fun, guys.
Yeah, and we'll holler at y'all later.